Alright guys, welcome back. In this video I want to talk about some of these bars here, how we can make them more visible when we work inside Motion Builder. So this is basically just to make it easier for yourself when you're working with this or something similar, where you need to have something that stands out. And since I'm using these bars here as guidelines to where my character needs to be, I find it kind of difficult to see where the cross is really. So in the meantime, I figured out that you need to go into the asset browser, and under shading elements, there's something called material, and you can drag that on top of one of these, for example, and that's gonna create a material. So under materials, I'm gonna rename this and call this red, and give that a nice red color. That makes this one stand out. So we can do the same with the other one here. So that means that we can now see where the vertical lines are. And I'm going to do the same for the other ones, the horizontal lines, and call this green. So just be aware that this is not a tutorial on how to work with the materials, just a nice little trick to make things more visible when you're working inside Motion Builder. Alright, so I'm going to drag that onto these ones as well. And by now you should be able to see that this makes quite a big difference when you just work with this. Because now you can see, okay, the hand is at this cross and this cross, and the foot is in between. So if I wanted to, I could actually put another colored line in between. Because off video I decided that I wanted to have the foot switch in a different place. So the animation I made going from the idle cross square to here, I went ahead and changed that animation a little bit. So it looks like this now. So basically it's gonna make a little shuffle step, but stepping onto an imaginary hold in between where the foothold is. Alright, so the reason for that was really because I realized that if I don't want to have too many animations to work with, if I put the foot here, when I make the next cross, I need to have a new one where the foot is on the opposite side, and that would cause me to have at least twice as many animations as I wanted to. So might be able to work around this in a different way, but anyway. So let's take a look at the other one I made, this one, because I want to take the opportunity also to talk about how we can create another animation from an existing animation. I covered this topic before, but this is going to be pretty nice to have in the context, I believe. So the animation I have here, taking this, I have this as the beginning pose, and I move the foot up to the mid of the next bar. Now I make a little turn and then prepare the movement to the last hold, hold up here. Okay, so basically what I want to do now is to make this, because I want to have this continue up the wall here, so you can control your character and just keep moving upwards, going from one animation to the other. So the way I'm going to go about this is to start off in the character. So in the character, I'm going to make a new take to begin with. I say copy data to the current take, say yes this time. So that means I have all the data on the new take as well. So if I play this, you can see already it's a copy of the old one. So first of all, I'm going to deactivate the control rig. Just make sure that I have the animation still. And I'm going to go, because I have my character selected, I'm going to go down under modifiers and find the mirror animation option and then click that. So once I plot this to my control rig, I will have a mirrored animation. So as you can see now, he's moving on the other side of the wall. So the next thing we need to do here is to take this and turn it around. So we do that by going to the story mode and insert this take here, which is turned 180. Turn on the story mode and make sure you have show ghost selected, and select the rotate tool, and you need to turn this 180 degrees. I have no idea why it sometimes gives me a weird rotation here. I wonder if I can do this. No. Alright. So anyway, I guess this needs to be minus. No? What does it need to be? Huh. Okay, it needs to be minus 49. That's weird. Wow, that's really weird. Okay, sorry about that. Just gonna rotate this manually. So try and hit that minus 49. All right. So here it becomes quite apparent why I have these guidelines, because now I just need to position my character again, and that's where they come in pretty handy, I think. I'm gonna move him a little bit around. I know that my hands needs to be at these crossings here, and the foot needs to be in between. Now I can see that all the hands, both of the hands and the foot seems to be pretty well in place. Might have to adjust this a little bit and see how it turns out. But anyway, once I have this, I can plot this back to the current take. There we go. And if I wanted to test this out, I could, I would probably do something like make a new take, and yeah, why not? Let's copy this to the new take, and I didn't really need that, but anyway, so go to the other one that I came from, and let's move this to the side a little bit, and then insert this take also. So now I have both of the takes here. So if this is working correctly, I should be able to chain these two together. So I can see there's a translation issue here because I apparently put it at the wrong bar, but that's easily fixed. And actually this is a good place to do this, because now I can see the ghost in here, so I can make the adjustment in here as well. So I'm gonna turn off the character here, or the mesh, let's say, and with my move tool, translate tool, I will position, let's take this one and bring down a little bit. Doesn't really matter which one of these I move, as long as I move one of them. So I'm just gonna make sure to position these two on top of each other, and since I used the post tool to match them up, the beginning and the ends, they should match pretty close to perfect. Might be a slight difference depending on what the solving did for me. I'm also going to turn off the wall just a minute because it's in the way. Okay, so they look like they are a little bit off actually. I'm not really sure why they are there. Might have adjusted one of them at some point. Can't really tell for sure. But anyway, seems to be okay. So let's turn on the wall, and let's turn on the character again, or the mesh, and then let's play all this together. I'm gonna go down to take 3, which I just use as a trash take right now, and frame start end for for this, and then let's play this all together. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little hiccup in the animation here, so I probably want to make these two overlap just a little bit to make that transition seamless. Alright, so there we go. I've combined the two animations, left and right. See that again. And it seems like there's still a little hiccup or whatever. But that's a minor detail, just a matter of adjusting the position where they blend together. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. One thing, as a little extra thing we could try and play around with is a camera. So let's see, we have 11 minutes. I think I'm going to cover that in the next video. But anyway, I'll see you in the next, I guess, and bye for now.